Hey guys, James here again. Let's meet if Luffy ate a stronger devil fruit. This devil fruit will be known as the Kura Kura no Mi, or the Puff Puff fruit. It's kind of a riff on Smoker's devil fruit, the Moku Moku no Mi, which is known as like the Smoke Smoke fruit, or the Plume Plume fruit. But the fruit I'm referring to for Luffy is the Cloud Cloud fruit. Now, if you guys are wondering why, if you're manga readers, or just as I'm spoiler, if I'm wondering why someone got Nika fruit, I'm basically rewriting a new god to take over Nika's position. This god happens to be the mythical zone Sky God Yorokubi, or the Joybringer. So yeah, Nika is supposed to mean like someone who's very good, someone who brings much, someone who's a very good person. Yorokubi is one who brings joy to the world, basically. So yeah. So I hope you guys kind of like the recolor I did of Luffy and the Gomu Gomu no Mi. So, now, in this story, Luffy's time with Shanks isn't any different than before, besides his devil fruit. His devil fruit is known as the Kura Kura no Mi. When Luffy ate it, it gave him pale white hair and his eyes a white ring around the irises of his eyes, resembling the appearance of a Conqueror's Haki user. Shanks took note of Luffy's immediate change, not even questioning what he ate, but why, yelling, "Why'd you eat our fruit, you damn brat?" As he would grab Monster the monkey and hold it over Luffy's face, making Monster reach in and try to grab the fruit out of Luffy's stomach. The monster didn't grab a thing, and Luffy's change took full course, as Luffy's hair is now basically very pale blue. Now, Shanks basically just face palmed and even had a headache a bit. Other than that, at the time there's not much different. But when he realized that Luffy's basically a Logia, it became a lumber complicated. In fact, he stayed there an extra week to just give Luffy the basic controls and knowledge of devil fruits. Really, that Shanks knew at least. Or that Shanks assumed a basic kid mind could handle. Like, Logia, Zone, Paramecia, Special Zone, or not Special, Logia, Zone, Paramecia, Special Paramecia, the Ancient Zone, Ancient Zone, and Mythical Zone. Until Luffy falls into a Logia category. So, yeah. Now, eventually Garp would arrive and sees Luffy's condition of having Logia, and immediately facepalmed, as Shanks did, after hearing the story. Garp would end up grabbing Dendemushi, putting in a call to Sengoku, who put in a call with Logtown, and says, "Hey, you guys have new ends in there, right?" Yeah, he recently became a combat class, I'd say. He had to send him over to Dawn Island, so... Because we've found Delver users very similar to him, and Garp is requesting this. Smoker came immediately as fast as he could. Smoker at this point is an ensign. It's been 12 years not 12, it's 10 years before the first introduction of him. But still, he would arrive. He arrives and offered to train Luffy. Would train Luffy for a bit, giving Luffy actually the basic kind of training he's done by himself so far, giving Luffy a basic understanding of the devil fruit, making him honestly a pretty good user of it. So yeah. So for the 2 weeks in the forest, Luffy would train with Smoker. Smoker was unable to train Luffy's goal of becoming a pirate. But the way Luffy wanted to go about becoming a pirate and being one, made Smoker and Garp have flashbacks to Roger's execution and his attitude towards dying and his life as a pirate. We made Garp flashback to how he knew Roger in battle, in prison, or straight up just seeing him. Now, Smoker's leaving, and Luffy was leaving to go say goodbye to his grandpa. They gain up Blue Gem's crew, and they pretty easily beat up the group. Now, Luffy would see a boys head up inside the building that Blue Gem's crew was in, and he told Smoker, you can leave. I'm gonna help this guy. Smoker would do so, leaving, telling Garp that Luffy's gonna help someone, and Garp just said, "Alright, see ya," and left. Luffy has two named techniques, being Cloudy Launcher and Smoky Pistol. Cloudy Launcher basically being Luffy turns into smoke, not smoke, but he turns into a cloud, and due to a cloud's density, Luffy simply just compresses his body around his enemy, holding them in place to the point where they're unable to move unless they have stronger physical abilities, or stronger Haki. Or any Haki at all, actually. Because Luffy doesn't have Haki right now. The smoky pistol is basically go into a pistol, but it's more propelled by a stream of clouds than rubber. So yeah. So yeah. Now Luffy walked into the building and found a chained up kid who resembled Ace. Luffy didn't know what Ace looked like. I'm telling you right now, this is Ace. The reason that Ace is there instead of Sabo or something like that is basically the fact that, well, one, Ace started to take the beating for Sabo. Basically, Sabo, you go hide and you hide the treasure somewhere else. I'll take the beating, and they do just that. But Luffy would walk in basically, he grab the change, and chains. The raw strength basically just crushes and tears them apart. This would shock Ace. Luffy kind of carries Ace to the bandits that a blonde kid had led him to. You guys wondering why Luffy's finding the bandits instead of Garp? Garp honestly got to introduce Luffy to the bandits, considering that, well, he was having someone else train Luffy the entire time, and Garp was trying to figure out what to do with Luffy after hearing what kind of fruit this is, and not an actual Logia. So yeah. Now Luffy, Ace, and Sabo all kind of bond. With them actually seeing Luffy is pretty cool from the start. They've been trying to train with an old man for a bit. There's a man by the name of Nagari, and yeah. They've lived in peace, having fun, training and everything, until a swarm of guards turned to them one day. They lived in peace because Blue Gem's crew was arrested by Smoker, so, yeah. Sato's dad would approach them as the guards would surround them, and started his son, saying, "Come along, boy, I'm sick of your rebellious shenanigans." He just tried to drag off Sabo, only for a stream of clouds to shoot at him and snatch Sabo. Sabo was pulled up in the air as this stream of clouds would cover his entire body, with the other boy inside of it. One boy holding him up is being shot at by the guards, but it basically made them waste their current magazine, and, well, basically because they all went through Luffy, because he's invincible, or intangible. But meanwhile, as soon as they started reloading, Luffy had dropped his brothers, and they both basically beat down the guards quickly, and scared Sabo's dad away. Sabo basically told his dad that, nobles are all scum. You don't know what being a human truly is because of the way you've been pampered and the way you've lived. Living as I am right now has made me feel more fulfilled than living as a noble ever will. So, yeah. Now, eventually Sabo's dad kind of scoffed and ran off. But in the distance, we would see a man in a greenish cloak, with another man next to him, wearing the same greenish cloak, but with a giant afro and makeup on. They would a little snicker and chuckle as they then leave, in a swift gust of wind. A few weeks later, a special dragon would arrive, but left not long after because he saw the Great Terminal. Blue Gem's crew wasn't able to actually, burn the Great Terminal down. So Dawn Island is very much in the not graces of the government. They're very disappointed in them, actually. So, yeah. Luffy has a few more techniques. We already know Cloudy Launcher and Smoky Pistol. One of them is now called Storming Bazooka, which is basically a lightning bolt that comes out of Luffy's elbows, surrounded by clouds, that propels his fist right towards the enemy at insane speeds, faster than the canonical Gomu Gomu no Bazooka. Then there's Storming Gatling, which is Gomu Gomu no Gatling, but, well, lightning is just propelling his fists. Also, there's a technique that Luffy calls Kura Nimbus, which basically Luffy summoning clouds from his feet that act as a flying nimbus for him. It also has pretty good storage, actually. So, yeah. Now, when Sabo would leave, when he's 15, he actually met a man in a bar in the middle of Goa Kingdom. This man is there and told Sabo about the revolutionaries and gave him a Vivra card. And the name of the card said Monkey D. Dragon, which made Sabo trust it almost immediately. This man had no intention of lying, he felt it. So Sabo would go. His burn mark is still there from actually training with Luffy and getting hit with the first reference of Storming Bazooka. Now, kind of like Lightning Bolt kind of basically exploded as soon as it hit Sabo, making a giant burn mark across his face, but his eye wasn't burned off, or wasn't burned shut, so, yeah. Sabo, he ended up leaving, following the Vivra card, heading to Baltigo. Ace took a ship that he stole from the docks in Goa Kingdom, with the kingdom being more, ruthless. The Celestial Dragon actually saying that they're basically a kingdom of trash. So, yeah. Now, with there being a lot more trash on the island, because Celestial Dragon deems it a dumping ground at this point, Luffy is able to throw the trash, and she finds a small dinghy that he convinces the bandits and the village official to help him fix up. But by the time that they do finish helping him fix up the boat, or the dinghy, it's about 25 feet in length and 35 feet in height. So it can fit most of East Blue Crew in it, actually, because this is, I think, 10 feet, or actually, no, about 7 feet smaller than the Mary. So, yeah. Most of the East Blue Crew, Luffy's being the one excluded because he can fly, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah. And when Luffy would set sail, he would use Smoky Pistol to take out the Lord of the Coast, which was honestly really easy. Small pause. Alright. So, yeah. No, Luffy would be able to use lightning strike to, well, when he's sailing, he would use lightning strike from his mouth. That is the technique that he has. It's not really named. Maybe they'll have the trick where they can make smoke come from their mouth. Well, if Luffy has a trick like that, but instead of it being smoke, it's lightning. He can use one of those tricks to basically end the whirlpool that he was trapped in. So yeah, with this he sails, meets Alvida's crew earlier. So with that, he beats them up earlier. Alvida's like, oh, hey, Brat, hand over the boat and all your valuables. Luffy kind of snickered before using a storming bazooka, sending Alvida flying immediately. Which kind of made everyone else forfeit in figure, because he one-shot Alvida. Luffy took Kobe because plot, and headed toward Shelltown. When they arrive, nobody assumes that they're pirates with how jovial they are and how peaceful the ship looks. Now, Morgan has a decent boat, and assuming it's a trader boat, he demanded that they hand over all the food and valuables for free because they don't have any money to give away right now to pests like them. Luffy kept mentioning a trader, but Smoker doesn't care, saying, not Smoker, I mean. Morgan doesn't care, saying, alright then, I'll rob you. Hand it over. Luffy still refused, which led to Morgan trying to behead him. But when he realized it didn't work, and his axe just kind of passed right through his head, Luffy just made a small hop and kicked Morgan across the island at maximum speeds. It's honestly just a regular Luffy kick. Notice that Humboldt would threaten Kobe with a gun to the head, but Luffy would aim his finger at Humboldt's face and say, Kura no dart. Or basically, Luffy would shoot a quick blast of clouds, or quick blast of basically like a dart, but a very swift, very compressed stream of clouds would be the dart. And from the weight, momentum, and the speed of the cloud, it would knock out him up on impact. The weight of the cloud being 5 less tons, momentum basically knocking Humboldt downwards, which is just a lot more momentum than needed. And the dart can move up to, the minimum, it can move 30,000 miles per hour. So that thing's very fast. Humboldt was lucky he didn't die. Instead, he gets a scar across his face. So yeah. Kobe would thank Luffy, and Luffy would convince the Marines to give him Zoro. Then Zoro and Luffy would talk for a bit, and Luffy's able to convince him to join his crew. And this would end Shelltown. This would end the first part of this What If. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more. Adios.